Welcome back. This is a pretty surreal environment that I've found myself in. $10 million Miami house, living with all my boys. We have Lambos, Ferraris, GT3 RSs, fucking trucks out front. And I'm just like sitting here realizing that I think almost 14 months ago, so just over a year, I posted a video explaining that I wasn't where I wanted to be in life and that my entire life was kind of a lie on social media. And zooming forward a year, just over a year later, I have everything, almost everything that I had wanted my entire life. And so, what does that feel like? You might be wondering. Honestly, it's pretty surreal. I'm extremely proud. I'm extremely impressed that I wasn't delusional. Everything that I thought was going to happen actually did happen. But the discrepancy at the time was my output and my effort and my work wasn't matching my thoughts. And as soon as I started doing the hard things, did I start achieving everything in the material world. It's crazy, bro. Like, I'm doing $500,000 a month for my app right now. Actually, last month, technically on paper, the two companies I was affiliated with at Mafia and Quitter did $1 million cumulatively, which was my first, I guess, $1 million month at 19 years old. Insane, bro. Fucking insane. I'm now in Miami in this $10 million house. This is the first time I've ever moved away from home. My entire life I spent sharing a room with my brother, grinding, doing local activities, local tasks, like driving to the gym, meeting friends. And then a trip I took to Vegas with the boys that are now my roommates made me realize we have a crazy opportunity to not only be successful in business, but be successful in content. And instead of just like enjoying whatever comes from the success in the material world, that we can kind of inspire the next generation of builders through vlogs and through content and through videos and through short form. And so we decided to get this crazy house that you see behind me. Fucking sick, if I do say so myself. The entire goal is to become like the Nelk Boys or the Team 10 or the David Dobrik or the Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but for business and for building apps more specifically. So we're not just having fun and fucking around and being, $19 million supercars Miami lifestyle, but we have like real substance. The undertone is we build apps, we help millions of people, and you can build apps too, and you can also help millions of people. And I think that's a fucking beautiful, beautiful mission. And I'm like, I don't know, like I somehow found myself here, which is fucking crazy. Because if I boil it down to like these like philosophical thoughts, bro, like I type shit on a keyboard, like certain strokes and certain mouse clicks and like stuff here and there, certain patterns of that resulted in my life being drastically different from this small town in England to getting a visa and moving full-time to the States and being part of the app mafia that, as maybe a few of you have seen, we've taken over the internet. I don't know how the fuck I got here, but I did. And now I'm sitting on a fucking beanbag on the grass talking to you guys. So, I didn't really have any plan for this video, but I do want to run through a few things because you haven't heard from me in a while, and that's because I've been kind of prioritizing content elsewhere, on the App Mafia channel specifically, and my short form pages. But let's get to the details. So what happened with Twitter? Like, how did we get to 500K a month? How do we get to, we just hit like 3.2 million total revenue. Also, to be clear, I'm not like completely proud of it. I know we can do so much better. I know our volume could be way, way, way better than it is currently. Still impressive numbers. But looking back on it, we had a few viral stunts. We did Quitter buying OnlyFans, which made us like a couple 100,000, maybe 300,000, and also a lot of mindshare. We did a hell of a lot more influencers, a hell of a lot more ads, and we just kept this like system flowing, and that just resulted in the 500K a month. Like it wasn't really that difficult. And to parlay on my point that I'm not really too happy with the numbers right now, I honestly think we could easily be doing, and we should be doing, like 1 million to 3 million a month. And it sucks because if you go back to my earlier content from a few months ago, I was saying that I intended to hit this in like April time or May time or June time by the latest. But it's currently mid or end of September even, and we're still sitting around 500K a month. And I can't seem to like break through this mental barrier. I think that it is. So my plan of action is to zoom back to the fundamentals, look at the volume, look at the inputs and look at the outputs, and not only try and amass 3 days worth of revenue, or 3 days worth of downloads, or 3 days worth of views in one day, or even 2 days. It's probably closer to 3 days. But 3 days worth of content and views and downloads and revenue in one day. That's how we'll get to 1 million a month. Instead of like chasing this big number, I'm just thinking about the output, the inputs and the outputs, because there is a certain amount of views that amasses the 10 or 15k a day we're doing right now. It's close to like 12.5 to 15k a day. But if we just tripled our volume that day, we would hit 35 or 36k a day, and that would amass to 1 million a month. It's pretty simple. So just going to dive more into inputs and outputs, and I think that's how we'll reach that goal. The final point on that is I really want to like not only just like sell the app and just like try and convince people to buy it. I want to shift culture. I want to make it cool to like quit watching pornography. I want people to like love this mission. Instead of just doing it because, I don't know, because they watched an ad from us, they do it because culture is changing and they need to be a better person. And Quitter is just like the best resource to do that. So we're working on like a winter arc update where it's a bit like No November, but we're going to gamify it more. We're going to kind of Quitter brand it, and it should do really well. And I'm super excited for that. But that's the Quitter front. Oh yeah, we also promoted one of our internal guys who used to run ads for us. We promoted him to CEO, funny enough. It was a bit spontaneous. We were tripping on something. We'll just say like the mushrooms. And me and Connor had this revelation. Like, we feel overwhelmed because we have this duty to lead a team, and we're super distracted with lifestyle and app mafia stuff that we haven't been doing a good job. And the only person that has stepped up to the occasion was Peter. And I was like, bro, like, let's just let him run the company, and we'll play these like puppet master games where he's doing a lot of the good groundwork and we're just like making sure it's our vision and hitting our quality. We were the greatest bottleneck for a while, and I think taking us away from it really allows us to make the right decisions for the company moving forward. So I'm very confident with that chapter. So, I mean, fuck, bro, there's so much to talk about. Another big topic that I really want to dive into is I've realized how creative I am, or how much I love the creative side of things. And I've always known this. Like, my parents were both artists. My dad used to make music. He used to be a house musician. He brought house music to the UK in like the 1980s. He went number 6 in the UK charts. Like, he was massive. My neighbors back at home listen to his music. I still hear his music played at festivals. Like, it's really, really cool. My mum, she paints and she draws and she does, like pet portraits. So both of my parents are artistic. And it's funny, I'll get like personal for a second. My dad could have been super successful, but he got fucked by like the music industry. And instead of being like, all right, I'm going to stand up, I'm going to be the best artist I can be and just like show them what they missed out on, he just got defeated and he was like, all right, I give up. Like, the music industry fucked me. Like, I'm just going to get away from music, like, whatever. And so he never made another song after that first initial success. And it's funny because who knows where he'd be today if he just maintained his career. But he had a very victim mindset. And, that's not really going to work in this world. You can't just be a victim. Like, no one's coming to save you. And so my mom, on the other hand, like, she wasn't like super successful numbers wise, but she was always very enthusiastic and optimistic. And like, mixing my dad's talent and his like natural gravity to succeed in things and my mom's optimism, like, that makes me. And that's like everything you see behind me is like a result of that, which is like really cool. But yeah, on that note, like, I love designing things. Like, I have a really good taste, and I've realized that more and more recently. One of my big goals is I want to get into music. Now, I don't know when at all, because there's just so much I have to do on a day-to-day basis that I can't think about. I can't get in the zone of sitting down, listening to beats, like recording, like editing, mastering. I just can't. Like, it's too much barrier to entry for me right now. But ideally, I become like the next Drake or the modern day Drake. I love Drake. Drake's a fucking legend. He's such an inspiration. And, he's run up the music industry for many decades. Like, he's fucking G. He's 37 though. Like, you know, there isn't much young talent that's evident in music right now. And I want to be like the difference. I want to be that difference. And so like I don't know when I'm gonna do it. I don't know when I'm gonna execute, but I'm super excited for it. And I feel I can make extremely good music that people all around the world will listen to. And I'll have collabs with people like Drake. I will have stuff from Travis Scott. Bro, like my music is gonna be so good. So good. Just wait for it. Super excited. But again, time and place. And as my responsibilities free up, I definitely will have more time to think about it. So that's kind of the plan. So it's Scale Quitter. There's music after that. Well, actually, by the way, in the meantime, obviously growing up Mafia, like the goal is to get 10 million YouTube subscribers, like be doing hundreds of millions of views a month, blowing up all of our personal brands. And I think we have all of the all the right ingredients to do so. Like I just turned 20, by the way, like last week. So I'm now no longer a teenager. But like let's just say like 19-year-old millionaire. Zach's making like 3 million a month. He's 18. He goes to college. He has a Lambo. Blake's making like $4 or $5 million a month from all of his apps. And like and we had this obviously the crazy compound, all the cars, and like all very charismatic and outgoing, and like we love getting in front of the camera. So I think those are the key recipes to being successful at Mafia. So that's obviously taken a lot of my time. But yeah, anyways, zooming forward, I really want to get into politics as well. And I really want to be like the UK Prime Minister, ideally. And that sounds like a ridiculous, like long shot, but I don't think there's anyone else that's probably more like that's more competent or subjective, but that's more competent to have a voice and that has true British values and is truly patriotic and has the experience of like being an American and absorbing their culture. And by the way, America is like the greatest economy on earth, and I think wealth has a like homogeneous wealth has a link to happiness, and not like if people have money they're happy. It's more like purpose. Like if people have a purpose every day to wake up and like they're building, they're growing, like and they're getting like financially rewarded by doing that hard work, they become happier. And like that's the one thing UK doesn't have. Like no one's really happy to do any work. There's no good jobs. There's no like big picture. And I think that's what I really want to bring to the UK. So ideally, the entire government that's just like over the age of like 50 just gets completely dissolved, and we let young people run the country. And as stupid as that sounds, I'll be the fucking leader. I will lead this fucking pack forward. But young people have the bright ideas. No one is happy with the way the country's been run for the last few decades even. And I think we need a strong leader with a voice that's not afraid to take criticism and is also has the humility to admit when he's wrong and make informed decisions about how to lead the country forward. And I think that's me. Again, no idea on the timeline of that, but these are like my big North Stars. I also think, bro, like there's an opportunity to build a billion-dollar company in the health niche, more specifically, and I'm just going to spit all this sauce, like I don't care. I think the world's going through a real shift in how much people care about their health. We've seen this with Whoop. We've seen this with people cutting out seed oils. We've seen this with, Apple Watch's success. We've seen, I'm going to explain the other things later. What we're seeing is people are becoming more attentive to the negative things they're consuming and cutting them out. That's exactly why I built Quitter. That's exactly why Quitter was so successful, because there was a niche of guys that wanted to quit watching pornography, and I just built a cool app for people to do so. And so that, compounds to my point. I think there's a billion-dollar idea by creating an ecosystem around health. More specifically, we dominate the app layer first. So we own Quitter, we own Cal.ai, we own Strava, we own, MyFitnessPal, for example. We own Runner, we own like any of these other health-based, like sleep apps, like Rise even. We completely dominate the app space. But instead of being a different fragmented app from a different company with a different login every single time, we unify it. We become like the Apple ecosystem for health. So you have one, so the company I want to call is called Super Health. I low-key prefer the name Apex, but Blake, out of respect for Blake and his idea, which was called Apex, I'm not going to use it. But let's just imagine you have a Super Health login that gives you access to all these different apps, and all of your health data is tracked in one place. The point of this being you could enter an ecosystem to improve your life and come out of it with all these tools that you're using on a daily basis and truly have your life transformed. As right now, if someone wants to go from, an unhappy position or unhappy mindset or unhappy, like unhealthy living even, where the hell do they start? Like Google, maybe they search on TikTok, maybe they read a self-help book, but like that's not good enough. What if they could just enter the super health ecosystem? We give them access to a suite of apps, and then they start using it every day because everyone has an iPhone, and their life just becomes drastically better. That's the future. And so like it levels up. So that's like obviously a massive idea. That could probably be like 50, $100 million. But like the big picture is expanding the ecosystem to physical products. So you can imagine the app layer being the bottom layer. Above that, you have like the Whoops, the Aura Rings, the 8 Sleeps, the Apple Watches. I don't know if there's anything else, but that would be like the physical product layer. And then above that, you have the AG1s, you have the Blueprint by Brian Johnson's, you have the supplements, and then at the top of the pyramid, you have Super Health. Well, actually, you have you. You're at the top. Your super health profile is at the top. That's the center point. And everything below, if you consume that, if you're consuming these healthy apps, if you're consuming these healthy tech products that help you sleep better, that help you track your heart rate or like your running abilities, whatever, and then you have the food, the supplements, the superfoods, you will become a fucking different person. Imagine accepting the super health life versus like the McDonald's and the undriven, like misdirectional life. Of course, you're gonna go the super health life. I don't know. Like, point to me to a single person that doesn't want to become the best version of themselves. Like, everyone wants to do that. Everyone. And like, what if you could pay like $39 a month for access to everything, like a subscription to supplements, subscriptions to the app, subscription to H Sleep, whatever. So you're trading $39 a month for like the ultimate you. It's fucking genius, but incredibly difficult to execute on. But that's another one of my like big visions. And like again, there wasn't really like a format for this video. I just wanted to dump all my thoughts in one place. I feel like this video will be looked back on in the next like 5, 10, 15, 20 years, who knows, as like an indicator that I had fucking mapped this shit out for many years before it actually happened. And if my words become truth, then I think I'm guided by God, so they will become truth. This is a lesson that brilliance can be seen extremely early on, and I think some people are like the chosen one. And I'm not saying it's just me. I think I've met a lot of these people that are like the chosen ones. The Roy Lees, the Blake Andersons, the Zach Edgaris, the Conor McLarens, the Hunter Isaacsons, the Luke Belmars, the Tates, the Trumps. These people are just like so exceptional. And I think that's something we should all aspire to be. They're people we should all aspire to be. George Heaton, David Beckham, Larry Ellison, Elon Musk, like just to mention a few more. And I think, bro, like I'm nowhere in a position to like give advice, and like I'm nowhere where I want to be. But my general advice would just be like, set your standards way fucking higher for yourself, and like think beyond money. Think beyond it. Like, what do you really want to achieve? It's not 10K a month. It's not 100K a month. It's not driving a Lamborghini. Like, what gives you true purpose? Think about that. Building apps weren't hard. Like, getting to my position, I could probably do it again. It would just take time, but I could definitely do it again. And just for a quick breakdown, just to explain how easy it is, because I know a lot of people that watch this channel watch me for like app content. You build an app that's valuable, that you would pay for, that actually works. Okay? You then find influencers in your niche that have a cult-like following that would push your app within their videos. Okay? A few, like those videos will go live. A few of the viewers on those videos from the influencer will get downloads. A few of those downloads will become sales. You can reinvest the revenue you make from sales back into more distribution, back into more influencers, and you have a business. The hard part, I don't think, is making money, profiting. The hard part is scaling, becoming like systemizing things, and like scaling beyond your mindset. Like, we did 30K in the first month. It genuinely wasn't difficult. It's just like when you have 9 team members and you're spending 100K a month on ads, and you're making 500, but then Apple's taking 30%, and then you're left with like a bit of that. That's the hard part, and that's the part you need to break free from. You need to become lean, and you need to keep scaling ops. Like, that's the difficult part. But yeah, bro, like, again, general advice, think about your true purpose and do not stop. Hormozy has a beautiful quote that is, do so much volume that it would be unreasonable to fail. And I think if you just don't quit, you can't fail. Because if you're genuinely, I fucking firmly believe this, if you are genuinely putting blood, sweat, and tears into anything you're doing, and you're not stopping until you crack the fucking code, you will never, never fail until you reach whatever you set yourself out to reach. Never. Like, there is just no way. Like, if you actually fucking sitting down, deep diving into how to become, let's just say, the best like singer of all time, and you're studying the rise and fall of all these different artists, or like the rise of all these different artists, like you're iterating on the beat, you're putting shit out there constantly, you're improving, you're making it catchy, you're like doing TikToks, you're doing this and that, and you just obsess over it like 24 hours a day, and like it's actually fucking good. There's no way you fail. There's no way. No way. When I was speaking about the chosen ones, I don't think the chosen ones are the ones that give up. I don't think they are at all. You get one life. Why would you give up chasing your dreams? Like, why would you give that up in exchange for something you don't want? I will never understand that. Never. If you watch my first video, I could have easily given up. I could have posted that and just like not acted upon it, but I didn't. I did act upon it, and I never stopped. I got flown out to San Francisco with, I think, like £2, like $5 in my bank account, and I could have given up, but I didn't. I hustled like a motherfucker. And it's not like I need motivation either. Like, my goals mean so much to me that I could just never drop the ball on it. I said I was going to close it, but I'll close it by saying one more thing. Reflecting on the last like 3-4 months of my life, since actually coincidentally when I stopped making YouTube videos, I got extremely comfortable. I started paying myself too much every month from the quota revenue, and the work wasn't correlating the higher pay. And so I was getting paid more for doing nothing. So I was rewiring my brain to think that doing nothing was rewarding, and that's a quick fire way to fuck up your like dopamine levels. And I got extremely comfortable. I forgot what the mission was all about, and I was more concerned on when I was getting my additional a 5-figure payout every month, so I could buy more random shit and buy more clothes and whatever, rather than being like, okay team, we need to fucking help more people. We're burning money here, let's cut this cost, let's bring this internal, let's improve the quality, let's do blah, blah, blah. I just skipped all of that and just got paid. And I'm slowly, the boys are making a meme out of it. I made a short form video saying I don't know how to work anymore. It was low-key true, but it was also low-key like childish, and I needed to grow up, and I needed to get super aligned on my mission, and I think I'm finally getting back to that. And so I'm excited for you boys to see, and also recording this video is proof that I'm kind of on that track, but I'm excited for you boys to see what comes of me in the next few months and a few years. I know it's a fucking meme now, I will try to be more consistent with my YouTube channel, and I don't know why I haven't been more drawn to posting on it, but I will try. Maybe I just force myself. I shouldn't force myself to. I should just fucking want to do it. I will want to do it. Let me just come out the weeds a bit. Let me get fucking aligned, and I'll be recording like every few days or weeks, whatever I decide. But yeah, boys, much love for supporting this whole time. If you haven't joined Slate Record yet, join it. The link is in the description, as well as my Instagram and my TikTok. And if you're interested in becoming an app builder, join the App Mafia Discord as well. That should be in my description, or appmafia.com will be in my description. Either way, you can join the Discord through there. And yeah, because you boys are killing it. I hope everyone that's been watching me for a while has achieved things, or has been happy with their results so far. And if you haven't, you need to have a really long look in the mirror and think about why, and fucking improve, because no one is coming to save you, and it's you versus you. Are you really willing to let the life you dream of slip out of your hands because it's too hard or it didn't come easy? So yeah, keep killing it, boys.